Good evening. I figure it's about time I did another update, and this one is going to be kind of fun. So, I wanted to show you something. Normally, when I do an update, I actually bother to kind of clean up the background a little bit, but this time I'm not going to, and there's a specific reason why. That it looks a bit like a mess, but there's a reason why that mess exists, and that is that for all intents and purposes, our mission here at Camp Asilia is done. So last week, specifically a week ago today, as a matter of fact, I met my replacement, Chaplain Nathan Perry from the 1st of the 133rd Infantry from Iowa. He got on the ground last week, and then the next day, his replacement, Sergeant, or excuse me, his religious affairs specialist, Sergeant Shelby Sanderson, came in. And so we've been doing the left seat, right seat thing, what we call a RIP, or a relief in place. And we had the opportunity to take him to a few of our offsite locations and to just kind of show them what we do here at Camp Asilia, and to kind of get them accustomed to the mission, to our battle rhythm, to what we've been able to do, show them a few of the products, the documents that we've generated that have been very helpful for us, and just to kind of introduce them to the mission of the Sec 4 unit ministry team here at Camp Asilia. Well, yesterday was when we officially had them take the lead on the mission. Now there's still a few more days left in what we call our RIP, and technically on Monday the mission becomes theirs. But for all intents and purposes, our mission is over here. So it's really nice to say that we are literally on the back end of this deployment. So we've got a few more days yet. I can't, for security reasons, and in part because it's not locked in yet, I can't tell you what day we're flying out of here, but it's sufficient stay in the next week or so. We will be wheels up out of Qatar, heading to Texas. And then we've got a couple of weeks there at Texas, technically southeastern New Mexico, real close to where we trained up to come on this deployment. We've got to do a quarantine there, plus a few days after the quarantine, turning in supplies, some of the equipment that we had signed for, plus getting physicals and that sort of thing. So, Lord willing, if things go well, at the middle of the next month, about perhaps even 4 weeks from now, I could be back in Oregon. And so we are really looking forward to it. I can tell you, everybody that I talk to in our battalion, the easiest question for me to ask is, are you ready to get out of here? And without exception, people are saying, yep, we're ready to put this place behind us. So we've got more than 400 soldiers that are sitting here now with a few days left. We've got one more Sunday left here, and we're just slowly picking off those days until we are able to get back in the United States. So I'd mentioned before, I'm sure, that so much of time seems to travel faster in the rearview mirror than it does in the front windshield. And yet now we're looking at we're almost home. We're almost home. We still got a few things we got to do to wrap up. I'd mentioned at Bliss, but we're so close. We're so close that we can taste it. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody when we get home. I tell you, my church family and my biological family, both what I married into and what I'm related to, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys all as well. It's been a good deployment. It's had its highs and its lows. And yet, looking back on it, I know that God has done some work in me, and I'm sure that God has done some work in you guys as well during the time that I've been away. So when I get home, I'll have a few weeks just to kind of process it, and so hopefully after I get home, I'll be able to kind of wrap my head around what this deployment has looked like, what it's meant, some of the lessons that I've learned, and I know that there will be a time when I'll be able to speak and be able to just kind of tell the story of this deployment and all that's gone into it. So it's been some hard times, it's been some good times, but overall, I take great consolation in knowing that God was the one that brought me on this deployment, and that God is the one who's bringing me home. So with that, I just want to let you guys know that I'm about 90%. It may not look like it from that mess on the bed, but I'm about 90% packed. And so we'll be loading buses here in about a week to head to Al-Udeid Air Base, just a few miles west of here, to board an aircraft and to say goodbye to Qatar for the final time. So with that, I know it won't be long before I get a chance to see everybody. I know COVID restrictions being what they are, I don't care. I get a chance to see you guys and just to be home. So with that, I love you guys, and you know, God bless you, and it won't be long.